which is not an example of periodic motion. The correct answer is C, because the periodic motion must show repeats at regular intervals, and the car traveling on a straight road is not showing the periodic motion. What is the term for the time needed for an object to complete one full cycle of periodic motion? The correct answer is C, period. Oscillation is the motion itself, amplitude is the maximum displacement of the wave, and the wavelength is the spatial measure for waves. Which equation expresses Hooke's law? Of course, the answer is D. And Hooke's law for springs states that restoring force F is proportional to displacement x and opposite in direction, and K is the spring constant. Which is equal to the slope of the graph of exerted force versus displacement for a spring? The correct answer is A, the spring constant. What's the slope? The slope is the division of the change in force from the y-axis over the change in displacement from the x-axis, and gives finally the slope. Which is the period of a simple pendulum with a length of 1.5 meters? The correct answer is A, because from the formula, the periodic time equals 2 pi square root L is the length of the pendulum and G is the gravity. Which accurately describes a surface water wave? Of course, the answer is C, because the surface water wave moves longitudinally and transversely. Which is not true about the amplitude of a wave? The correct answer is C, because the amplitude does not affect the wave speed for most mechanical waves, and speed depends on the medium properties only, not the amplitude. Which is the term for the high point of a wave? The correct answer is D, the crest. Crest is the highest point, trough is the lowest, amplitude is the height from equilibrium. For most mechanical waves, the speed depends The correct answer is A, only on the medium. Which is the period of a sound wave with a frequency of 2123 Hz and the speed of 343 meters per second? The correct answer is A, because the frequency equals to the inverse of the periodic time. Which is the term for the point on a standing wave that does not move? The correct answer is D, node. And in standing waves, nodes are points of minimum displacement or no movement at all, and antinodes are the points of maximum displacement. The result of the superposition of two or more waves is called of course, it's called interference. And if the waves are building up, it's constructive interference. If they cancel each other, it's destructive interference. The law of the reflection states that the angle of incidence is what the angle of reflection. Of course, the correct answer is C, equal to.